All right. Good morning. Good morning. Better late than never. Had some errands I had to get out and run around a bit this morning. But thanks for joining me. An hour late. Maybe this is a new time. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see who we have here. We'll let people roll in. Obviously, it's a different time today, so might be a few people that normally would catch the end of the stream jumping on now. But it's good to see everybody. Let's see who's here to start with. I've got my coffee, which is good. Just like an hour behind, it throws off your whole day. We'll see how this. We'll see how the live stream goes today. Although the market has been looking okay today, which is good to see. So let's see who's here. Hopefully they're still sticking around. We have Candace. Good morning. Welcome, Candace. Welcome to the stream. And we'll see who else jumps in. And just for those that are watching this on the replay always plays on the channel. We typically go on live. Although we're delayed today by an hour, we do go on live 8 a.m. to about 9 a.m. Monday to Friday. So it'd be great to have you join along. If you join in live, jump on in. If not, catch the replay. That's all good too. Always appreciate when you watch and follow along. On that note, Candace, if you're still watching, I'm going to guess you did okay on oil yesterday. Just a hunch. As we were kind of in the live stream yesterday talking about that, and then like oil had jumped down, but I think by the end of the day had come back up and did quite well. So I'm going to assume maybe you're able to jump on that. Hopefully you were. That's always nice to see if people can make a little bit of money as we go. And just on the channel, coming up on our 100th update, I will do an update video probably tomorrow. Usually I kind of do it midweek. If I get a chance today, later on, I might be able to do that today. And then the 100th video. So as suggested by I've been doing a bit of looking. I think I will do that 100 share purchase of Div. So Div.To. That one looks interesting. So I think that's something I can afford. Checking the budget and stuff like that. So I think we'll do that for the 100th episode by 100 shares of that. So Candace is watching, and yeah, that's right. There was OPEC reported there was a cut that turned out to be not true. Playing on. Oh, okay. Interesting how the news can shift that and change things so quickly, right? Especially when it's not necessarily real news, depending on what's happening. And it's amazing that if it's a reporter, I don't know. I don't follow that closely, so kind of interesting what happens with the market that way. People panic and then they realize there's nothing to panic about and then come right back in. That's what I've noticed. Sometimes there's a lot of overreaction to things. And Abigail, hello, welcome. Haven't seen you in a while. Maybe you're on vacation or something like that. I'm not sure where you are, but good to have you back. And Sakina, good morning. Welcome back. All good. And MC, always great to have you. Good morning. Welcome back. So I took the day always throws you off when you have running around to do in the morning, but market looks like it's okay. I just pulled up one article today, which is, I guess, kind of good news. I like to try and find the good news in kind of in everything. So let me just pull this up, because and it all kind of goes back into what we were talking about. And there's a couple of things. So this might be good. Again, we talked about Christmas yesterday. Obviously, Christmas is coming. It's going to be like literally around the corner, almost being the end of November, right? Already, and which is crazy to believe. It's almost a year is up. But so shoppers may see the biggest sales in a decade this holiday season. So retailers are sitting on a ton of inventory from post. Basically, obviously, we all kind of know with the supply chain issues, pandemic, just wreaked havoc on inventories for literally everything, and now stores are basically flush with things that they will be putting on sale come well, I guess the big one is Black Friday down in the States, which is here too now. It's kind of like, and it's funny how Black Friday turned in from like one Black Friday day we kind of have more of the Boxing Day sales in Canada, but we've gotten Black Friday now, but it's now turned into like Boxing. It seems like it's like Boxing Week sale, but we'll see how that happens. So 2022, they're basically saying here there's elevated inventory on stuff, so retailers are going to have to be basically dropping their prices, and they'll have to blow this inventory out in certain things. So they're talking about here is there's lots of basically everything you're going to buy as a discretionary purchase will be on sale this season. So where does the headline, what the one sentence here, I got to find it again. They're predicting the most intense promotional period in 10 years. So I guess good if it's good if you're looking to shop. I'm not a big shopper at Christmas or any time really, but I guess if you need to get something close, any kind of things, even for yourself, it's always easier to buy for yourself than someone else. But you might get some good deals out there and stuff like that. And what did Candace find here? I read an article, Christmas tree retailer in Nova Scotia is selling out of trees, even with the $2 per tree increase for inflation. Interesting. I was out doing the curbside pickup at Superstore in the it's Loblaws for the people that are back east, or Loblaws, however you can pronounce it. But Superstore here, they have trees already, and I didn't look at how, I don't put up a real tree. So it was a tree and they didn't look like they were anything special, but $57 for a tree. So I don't know how much the trees are out in everybody else's way, if they've seen them at the stores, how much they're costing, but $57. And the problem is now if you buy it now, it's going to be dry. You have to almost get another one before Christmas, but they're trying to sell them for $57. And I think that's probably I want to say it may be a bit of a deal, but that seemed like a lot. I can't remember. It's been a while since I bought a real tree. Real trees are nice, but they're not nice to get rid of. That's always the thing. They're nice when they're nice when you're setting them up, but then when it comes time to take them down, and they get needles everywhere, and it's like takes you three or four times as long to clean everything up, because those needles shake off like you would not believe coming after Christmas when you have to take those things down. So no more real tree for me, especially not at $57. You probably, and with we're saying the retail and stuff like that, it's maybe you'll get a good deal if you need to get a new artificial tree or something like that, maybe. But those things last for literally forever until they look all raggedy. But there we go. Hola, welcome. I know Nadia, you're away. Hola, enjoying the beach and not the Canadian winter that is lousy. You'll be in for a shock when you come home. Welcome to the channel and welcome to the live stream, though, Nadia. Nice to have you back. It's great. I'm surprised, and I'm surprised, Candace, with trees. We'll bring that comment up again. I'm surprised it's actually only up $2 per tree for inflation. I think you'd think it would be more. Everything else is so much more expensive. They try and get you on trees unless they're it's like a loss leader. I think it's a lot of things with the supermarkets and stuff like that. Like it's a loss leader to get you into the store. You're like, oh, I'll get a Christmas tree, and then I'm going to run in and buy some other stuff I don't need. That's kind of the thing. I know IKEA did that. I don't know if they still do that. So IKEA did a thing where they would sell you a tree. This is years ago. I wonder if they still do it. Should actually look, because they a great idea. They used to be able to go get a tree, and I think the tree was, this is again years ago, but the tree was like, say, $10, maybe $20. So you pay $20 for a tree. When you bring the tree back in the new year, you bring it back to the store, they chip it, and then they give you a gift card for $20, whatever the cost of the tree was, $10, 15, 20. I can't remember how much it was. It wasn't very much though. So it's like this lost leader of a tree to get you, number one, get you to IKEA. You buy your tree, probably going to go into the store and buy something else, because it's Christmas, right? You're going to buy decorations, you're going to buy candles at IKEA. You're going to go through that last little bit of IKEA where you fill your bag with stuff you don't need to get a $10 tree. And then you go back in the new year to drop your tree off, they give you a gift card for $10 and guaranteed you're not going to go into the store to just spend $10. So very smart, very smart. What they used to do. I wonder if they're still doing that. I'll have to look with IKEA. That was a smart business plan. I think they probably did quite well with people coming back and spending all their Christmas money too, right? If they got money for Christmas or something, they're going to come to the store and spend it. Okay. So it was cut your tree down. I've never done that. Have you ever done that? I've never done that. It's not huge. Not as many people. Maybe it's a West Coast thing, but maybe people don't do it as much here. I've never done that as a family. We never did that as a family. We used to get real trees, but we would get just a cut tree. A couple times though, I remember my parents, when they moved to a new house and there was a new yard, they bought like with the like a tree that was alive that you could plant afterwards, and they did that. And the tree's massive now in the backyard, so it's kind of neat. But you can only do that so many times, or you'll have a forest in your backyard. But they did that with a couple trees, and I think they're still there. They no longer live in that house, but I think if I drove by it, I could probably see the old Christmas tree popping up over the fence now for sure, because that's got to be 40 years ago. But I've never. If anybody's cut their own tree, let me know in the comments. That might be kind of fun, especially if you have kids and stuff heading out. And that was the only article I had today. Again, running, as always, not an excuse, but running late. I didn't have time to read through my regular news, but just looking at what's kind of happening in my stocks and ETFs today. Bit of green out there, which is nice to see. I could just kind of check the watch list. I have added Div.TO to my watch list, so I will be picking that up. I think that will be probably Friday. I think I'll be able to get that one, because that'll be my 100th update video will be over the weekend. So I got to time it. So I'll have to transfer some money over to get that before Friday, which is cool. That's a good idea. I think I definitely really appreciate everybody's suggestions on that one. That'll be a fun one. And the dividend looks decent on that one for sure. And this is GTA. Okay, so always a little, big country, right? GTA, it's become an event to visit a Christmas tree farm, pick your tree and cut it down. Apple cider sounds good. Yeah. And then they get you to post photos on Instagram. Oh, okay, yeah. So at the farm, right? They probably have it all decorated. A lot of people, what a lot of people do here is that a lot of people go at Halloween to pumpkin farms, and it must just be maybe location. I mean, there's tree farms here. It probably just depends where you're living. Like if you're in the city and stuff, there's not really tree farms. But I know in the Lower Mainland is out some of the farm area. They do a lot of other, like grow other things, not trees. And it's a big thing at Halloween to go to a pumpkin farm here and get, like, people will go and pick their own, go to the field and get their own pumpkin. And they do the same thing, MC. They usually have like pumpkin, and they'll do like tractor rides out to the pumpkin patch, and then you pick your pumpkin, you bring it back, and then they have, I think it's like hot chocolate, stuff like that is what they always do. And there's some places that even have it tied into, because it's the time of year, is they'll do like I think it's coming up to the end of it, but they do like in the summer too, coming through, they'll do like they'll have corn mazes and stuff like that. So it's like a big event. It is an event that way. So that's a bit more popular on this side, I think, for event stuff for that. I couldn't even tell you where a tree farm is here. No idea. There's got to be somewhere, but so you always see people going out to pick their pumpkins. I didn't get a pumpkin this year either. I didn't. I'm not really in a place where kids come by. So when you're in an apartment, it doesn't really. You don't really get the trick or treaters. So I didn't actually look how much a pumpkin was this year either. But I'm going to assume more expensive than last year, as we laugh about stuff like that. But it's never good when everything costs a fortune. So. And then getting that tree home, that's always a challenge too. You got to loaded on top of the car. It's like a big production just to get a tree. So there we go. That's all I had. Is anybody that's watching made any, I guess, haven't asked for a while on the, we'll talk to the poll actually, because I did post a poll on the channel, but is anybody buying, anybody make any purchases yet today? If you're watching, let me know if you've added anything to your TFSA. That is crazy for a pumpkin. I think that's nuts. And then at the end, and then when it's over, they're just like everybody recycle or puts them in organic waste and recycles them. You see them sitting out rotting in the fields. Yeah, expensive. But anyways, has anybody bought anything yet today? I'm gonna wait. Dinosaur Rex is back. Yeah, no worries. Yeah, catch the replay. I'm late today too to the party, so not to worry. It's all good today. All good. Catch the replay. It will be posted for sure. Yeah, if anybody's bought anything, I haven't done. I'm gonna wait for that 100th episode, so that would be my next purchase. Other than that, nothing in the works. Just slow and steady for me. I think it'd be fun to add a different position, which would be kind of interesting to kind of watch and see come in. But that's about it. Other than waiting for some dividends to come through, which will be coming in the end of the end of the month. And MC is looking at EQN. Yeah, a lot of people have always because it's down. It's gone down so much. I forget who it was on the channel that bought some before it dropped, unfortunately. But I guess if you're long term, it's probably maybe decent. I don't know. I haven't looked today. MC what it's doing today, but might come back a little bit. No, still down a little today. So it's it's unfortunate. It's down like roughly 50% in the last month ish or week. Just yeah. So that was unfortunate. So it might be a time, depending. Obviously, research, look at it. That's what I think what a lot of people are doing, right? They're just keeping their eye on things and not jumping into anything, I think, or just keeping the slow and steady. Slow and steady wins the race. No point in jumping on anything if you're unsure. There's nothing wrong with having if you have the money in savings or something that you're planning to. Nothing wrong with keeping it in a savings account either. Nothing wrong with that. It's that's okay. I don't know if we'll see more drops on stuff. I think it's like one of those things. The predictions I think are done. Prediction time is done. I think we just carry on with the plan. That's what I'm doing. And CTS MC. I'm not sure what that is. Let me look that up. Oh, Canadian Tire. Canadian Tire might do good over the holidays, right? It's hard to say. Yeah, hard to say. I'm gonna guess that Canadian Tire has a lot of inventory, and those will be the places we see sales. You can see some really good sales at Canadian Tire for certain things. I don't go there a ton. Obviously, it's not the kind of thing you shop at every day, but when you need like sometimes kitchen stuff, even I'll go there because they have usually a lot of good deals on kitchenware at Canadian Tire. And then they probably have it's Converge. Oh, CTC. Sorry, I'm reading it wrong, MC. Sorry, I'll bring that up. Okay. As I call the one, Converge Technologies. Okay, I'll have to check that out. I'm thinking it's Canadian Tire, CTC. That's what the search popped up. I started typing CT, and then it pops up in auto and sent me to Canadian Tire first. Converge, CTS. CTS. What do they do here? Some kind of tech company, some kind of software IT cloud company. I'll have to look at that one in a bit more detail to check out what that one is. And I think you're talking about, so for energy sector is done, it makes you a little nervous that an energy company has not done very well during that boom. So I think you're talking about EQN, I'm going to assume. Yeah, yeah. What are, I mean, some of the other energy ones people are buying? Fortis, and what's the other? Oh, is it Fortis? AQN, and uh, it's sorry, what am I thinking? And Enbridge is another one that people are looking, kind of look at those three. Yeah, so it's hard to know. I don't know. I don't own it in my, obviously everybody can see it. I don't own it, and no plans to jump on that one either. I probably have it in. I'm gonna. I should look. I might be in BF or sorry BTC.Y. It's kind of my energy coverage, and banks. Um, Actually, looking at banks today, I think they're doing okay today. Everybody seems to be doing a little bit better today. It's nice to have a bit of green, in the sea of red that we've been having lately. It's kind of nice to have a day that's up a little bit on there, and then tomorrow probably back as always back down. A word of warning to people that are thinking of buying DIV, maybe maybe buy it after Friday, because of what happens is I'll buy it and then it'll go down, which is just far for the course, it always seems. So we'll see what happens as I joke about that, but there we are. Yeah, so update on the channel. I know obviously I'll do the update video. We'll get that out today or tomorrow, so obviously you'll catch that after the market closes, probably today. Don't forget, it's a short week on the market for the States. So if you're trading US funds, US stocks, Thursday market close, Friday closes early, 1 o'clock Eastern time. So short days, short week. So I think we'll probably have, see what obviously plan for that if you're making any US purchases. Update on a little bit of coming up, though. We've nailed it down with Candace. We're gonna have Candace on the first weekend in December. I'll get that scheduled onto the live stream. We have to iron out, and Candace is probably watching, we have to iron out a time that works for both of us, but we'll get that scheduled probably early afternoon for the West Coast people, I'm thinking. I know I'll send you an email, Candace. You'll get that today. We'll hash out a time so we can get that scheduled. Talk about YouTube, talk about channels, a little behind the scenes, maybe a little bit Q&A, how we got started, all that kind of fun stuff is always kind of fun to talk about. Talk about some YouTube stuff is always and a little bit different. One thing that would be fun to talk about, we can always talk about this, is obviously with everything that's going on with Twitter, and without obviously going private, Elon Musk buying Twitter, it seems like he's making a big push to try and bring creators over to Twitter. So that will be 5-8. Yeah, yeah, no, it's not going to happen. I'll just stay up. Twitter's trying to bring a lot of trying to possibly working to want to bring creators over to Twitter. So that'd be kind of maybe fun to talk about, where we see kind of things like that happening. Might be a different space. I know Candace is on Twitter. I'm on Twitter. I'm more of a lurker on Twitter. I don't know if I'd post these videos over on Twitter. Maybe do the live streams live on there too. I don't know. Might be a different kind of audience. Hard to say. I'm more of a lurker on Twitter, and than a poster and creator. But we'll see what they do. Kind of interesting on the YouTube. And as far as my channel, just plugging away. It's nice to have everybody that does joins the live streams. You always get new faces. Usually get it's nice to have all the regulars coming on. Just have a quick chat about whatever we're thinking about the market. We always try to keep it a bit relaxed here, and just go with the flow, and not take hopefully not take ourselves a little, not doing everything too serious, not taking ourselves too seriously, and just we're all in for the long haul and kind of learning together, which is good. And the very, very true. That's kind of why I don't post over there a ton. I've been on there for years and years and years. It can be kind of a dumpster fire. Yeah, depends what you're in, it's easy to get involved in. I think people take it a lot of things, they take comments the wrong way. And that's why, Dinosaur Strix, I mean, we'll talk about with Candace and stuff. That's why I do like YouTube. YouTube does a really good job of finding your audience, like everybody here that's watching. And it kind of helps, I think, everybody for the most part. I've been lucky enough. I know there's some trolls in YouTube as well. But this channel's been very fortunate. We've got a good, really good group of the community, really, that's been joining on. There's been nobody that's joined that have had to get rid of, I mean, obviously there's the spammers, but for the most part, the comments, and it's rare, I think, for YouTube. So it says a lot about everybody that's watching. It's a good group. So really helpful. That's definitely what I find. I've definitely learned a lot over the last couple of years, and hopefully can share a little bit. And hopefully people have learned that watching, even if it's learning from mistakes, right? So MC, yeah, that's correct. It has been. It was up officially. It's like buried on the Canada.ca website with a whole bunch of other adjustments to tax stuff. But it has officially been bumped up. I did a video on that, up to $6,500, which is always good. I'm nowhere near my max out, and which, but if you are, that's good news. So come January 1st, you can put in up to $6,500 more over the year, which is great if you're able to do that. I'm not close to it. And if anybody's wondering that's watching, if they want to find out where or what their amount is that they can put in to their TFSA, if they're close to that amount for the year or totals and everything else, you could, if you log into your CRA website, if you log into my CRA, it'll show you on there your TFSA that you're allowed to put in, and also it will show you your RSP, so you can check that out if you're on the fence, because you don't want to over contribute to either of those. So and that they do, Dinosaurus Rex. I've been fortunate enough. There's obviously, I mean, just over 1,000 people watching. So I do have another channel, and it does exponentially. Kind of, you have to do a bit more management. One thing I do find though is the worst part about this is the spam comments that you have to kind of catch, but they usually hit a video. They usually hit a video pretty quickly, and then you can delete them, and then they're off and gone. And I've been fortunate. A lot of the community there hasn't been any issues with comments. So that's good. And no one's jumped on, thankfully. No one's jumped on the live stream that's been a jerk. So that's all good. Everybody's friends. Good question. Salary side, I'm curious to know if people's preference to RSP or TFSA first. Most suggest TFSA first if under around 75K a year salary, but interested in your opinion. So yeah, that's a good one. I mean, maybe some people in the obviously people jump in before we sign off and stuff, but jump in and maybe give some info. I mean, people know obviously the difference between TFSA and RSP, hopefully, but TFSA is tax-free. Your gains will be tax-free. On the flip side of that, your losses you cannot claim on your taxes, but any gains are in there tax-free. And when you withdraw it, it is tax-free. Where the RSP, if you put it in, you'll get a tax. It's a tax deduction when you put it into your RSP. The gains are tax-free in there, but when you withdraw, you are paid tax. You do pay tax on your withdrawal. And the idea behind the RSP, I mean, the RSP has been around longer than a TFSA, but the idea behind the RSP is when you're withdrawing your RSP, you'll be in a lower tax bracket, in theory. So that's the benefit of an RSP. But also, some people with RSPs, like I used to have a work MC where the work would do RSP matching and stuff like that. So there's a different reason people would never put in an RSP. But TFSA, it really depends on your tax situation. And that would be something to probably talk to an accountant with. But as Justin's saying here, TFSA should always be filled first, because obviously that kind of does make sense in the terms of like the capital appreciation, as long as your RSP is going up, because it's always going to be tax free when you do take it out. So I think he's leaning towards that. That being said, it depends really on your taxing. So everybody has their own opinion. So Dinosaurus Rex. He uses for RSP for long term because he won't touch them until he retires. Yeah, and I think that's what people kind of think with the TFSA is a little bit more probably sometimes short, maybe shorter term investments, depending, or because you're not taxed to take it out. If it's like some kind of like, this is the thing, like tax-free savings account was always kind of branded as a savings account. I know a lot of people still just have it in savings, right? So if you do take it out, you're not taxed on it. So everybody's kind of different, I think. There's probably no one suggestion that fits all, depending on what your tax situation is for that. Also too, it might be self-employed, not paying taxes, so the RSP can help. There's different as you go. Yeah, and that's exactly it. So you have to start with the RSP. I don't know the age. You'd have to double check. Justin, you might know, but you have to convert that, right? So if it's still in an RSP after you hit a certain age, you have to start taking that out. I believe converts to. So there we go, 71. Is it converts to a RIF, if I'm not mistaken, a retirement income fund? So you have to take a certain X amount of dollars minimum out each year, RIF, or yeah. So just something to be aware of. Where I think the tax-free thing, I guess the thing is too, what a lot of people have done is they'll try and max out their TFSA and then use the extra to go into your RSP. But again, everybody's different. Sometimes it's nice to get a bit of a tax return, coming through. I find I've done my RSP for a long time. It's nice to have, like, again, I think it was Dinosaurus Rex that said kind of more long-term investment. And that's what people think with kind of RSPs. And because you're not taxed from it, because you are taxed if you have to withdraw from it, then you're probably more apt to just keep it in there and not use it, which is a good long-term investment if you're tempted, right? Because it's easy. You're maybe tempted to have to pull from your TFSA a bit more. If emergency comes up, right, you can always access it anyways, but you don't want to if you don't have to, because you'll get the withholding tax taken off your RSP. But again, if you have an emergency or a bill or something that has to get paid, sometimes you have to, which is unfortunate too. And there you go. So you can structure RSP so when it turns into a RIF, the passive income coming in can really help that RIF take a long time. Yeah, and that would be how it would be done. To put that through. I guess there's no, there's ways to structure it for maximization, but I guess you're never gonna, there's what's always certainties in life is like taxes and death, and you can only kind of do so many things. The tax man will always get there. They always get their cut somehow. So I think would be talking to a good accountant would be if you're really having to worry about that, to see going forward on that. But I think for most people, probably TFSA makes a bit more sense, unless you're hitting over certain tax brackets. But there's also like you can go online and find there's calculators that will show that, right? If you have a certain amount, like maybe you had a really good bonus or something in the year, or if you're self-employed, maybe you had a really good year that you're having to take, you made more income. There's calculators online, like you can kind of show, like I know the tax programs will do that too. I think if you're self-employed, you should probably have an accountant do it, but you can go on and say like, okay, if I put this much into my RSP, how much will it reduce the income tax that I owe? Or how much, or if you've put in obviously throughout the year, how much will I get? How much tax return will I get? That's one way to kind of give a ballpark if it makes sense. But then don't forget you're paying it on them. You're going to pay the tax eventually. And I would recommend, like we talked about this, there's a way to structure it. You're probably better off too when the time comes for all that stuff is to talk to like an actual financial person, like an independent financial planner, to make sure it's all kind of structured properly. Don't go to your bank, because they'll always try and steer you in their product that might not be the best thing for you. I know, talk to someone, and I think definitely talk to somebody independent, especially if it's a large substantial amount that you have to kind of work with, to plan. Or even if it's not a big amount, you want to make sure it's planned properly, to make sure. Maybe one day I'll be living off the dividends of my TFSA. Maybe we all will. That'd be nice. At least to get a bit of money coming in every month from that once it's up there, which would be good. There we go. It's about 9. We've been going for about 40 minutes here. So again, last minute questions, pop them up, but if not, we'll definitely do the sign off. I'm a bit late running in to start work today, and I have another. It's like the Tuesdays are my Zoom call days, so I have another meeting that I do have to jump right onto, literally at 10 o'clock. So I want to prepare for that. But just appreciate everybody joining on. It's always fun. It's always good to hear everybody's discussion. So what we'll do is we'll start to wrap it up. Say thanks for joining. Thanks for coming in, spending the time this morning. Hopefully the market can continue green today. We'll check it out today, and I'll get ready to get that 100th video on the go, which is awesome. And then, as always, thanks to everybody who's watching. So I will sign off for now. We'll put the fireplace on for everybody as we go, so we can kind of relax and then go into our day with a bit of relaxing. And hopefully, if everybody's done any purchases today, hopefully you do well, and hopefully everybody's portfolio is starting to kind of build up in this bear. We have this bear market, but I think it's a good time to build. Don't do anything rash, and be smart out there. And that's it. So let's go. Let's hit that fireplace, and we'll sign off. But we will be back tomorrow, 8 a.m. regular time, 8 a.m. Pacific, and that's a good way to have a great afternoon. Candace, you too. I will email you, I promise. And Dinosaur Shrex, we'll see you in the next one. Have a great day. That's a good way to end it. We'll start with get that fireplace running.